In the previous video, we learned about two tools that can be used to solve linear equations: the addition property of equality and the multiplication property of equality. And we also saw several examples of using one or the other of these properties to solve a linear equation. Now, sometimes we may need to apply both of these properties. And usually we will need to apply the addition property first. So, as an example, let's go back to example B in the first video in this section. 3x minus 5 equals 13. Now we see this minus 5 here on the left-hand side of the equation. And we would like to get rid of that in order to leave x by itself eventually. And so the first step in solving this equation is to add 5 on each side of the equation. And when we do that, you see the plus 5 and the minus 5 cancel out. And so on the left-hand side, we're just left with 3x. On the right-hand side, we have 13 plus 5 is 18. Now we're in a situation where we need to use the multiplication property. We see that 3 times a number is equal to 18. So if we divide this expression by 3, 3x divided by 3 equals 18 divided by 3. Right, doing the same thing on both sides of the equation. Then we arrive at the solution, which is x equals 6. And again, it's easy to verify that 6 is the solution by substituting into the original problem. Okay, and these steps are outlined in the notes for you. The next complication is if fractions should be present in an equation, it is usually best to clear these fractions by multiplying on each side of the equation by the LCD, least common denominator, of the fractions. Now, you don't have to solve the equation this way. You may work with the fractions if you like, but most people do not like to work with fractions. And if you have an equation with fractions in it, you don't have to. The reason is the multiplication property allows us to multiply by any number. So if we multiply by the least common denominator, then the fractions will go away. Let's see an example. If we have this equation, x over 5 plus x over 3 is equal to 2/3, we can simplify this equation by multiplying by the least common denominator. Okay, so let's see, x over 5 plus x over 3 equals 2 over 3. What is the least common denominator in this equation? Well, we have a 5 here and a 3 here, and so the least common denominator is going to be 15, isn't it? Least common denominator is 15. Okay, now see what happens if we multiply each fraction by 15. Remember, when you multiply a fraction by a whole number, that whole number just goes to the numerator, it does not go to the denominator. So that gives us 15x over 5 plus 15x over 3 is equal to 15 times 2 divided by 3. Why does this help? Well, now because these fractions will all simplify to where we don't have fractions anymore, because 15 divided by 5 is 3, so that leaves us 3x here. 15 divided by 3 is 5, so that leaves us 5x here. And 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, so that gives us 3x plus 5x equals 10, or 8x is equal to 10. Now if we divide by 8, we get our solution. X is equal to 10 over 8, or 5 over 4. And again, the steps that I've taken here are sketched here in the notes.